The taco. You can have it with beef, pork, chicken, or you can even have it for breakfast. We're all familiar with the delicious food served on a folded tortilla. However, have you ever wondered why we eat them? Tacos have an interesting history. They've been around since about the 18th century and have made their ways into the bellies of millions of happy people. They're here to stay and have been prepared in a variety of different ways. Technically, anything you place on a tortilla can be considered a taco. Spaghetti taco, but traditionally it is served with a type of meat topped with salsa and veggies. Let's take a look at what makes the taco and how it came to be. This is History Kitchen. The earliest mention of a taco was back in the 18th century, just about 200 years after the Spanish conquest of the Americas, after the Golden Age of Spain. The Golden Age, or el Siglo de Oro, was an era in which Spain flourished in the arts and was economically powerful. They set up colonies in the Americas and mined precious metals to take back to Europe. Skipping forward to the 15th century to the 18th, silver still being mined in Mexico, the first tacos were being made. However, unlike the tacos you see today, they were made of paper and gunpowder. The Royal Spanish Academy, the guys who make the decisions on definitions in Spanish, the dictionary guys, defines a taco as being a cylindrical object made of cloth, paper, or a similar material that is placed in a hole along with gunpowder, and a projectile that is used in firearms. Well, you can't eat that. Basically, they rolled explosives and called them tacos. This is where the word comes from. The actual practice of eating tacos had been around since pre-Columbian times, as indigenous tribes ate with their hands and tortillas. Tacos are native to Mexico, but are found all over the world. Funny enough, when I was in London, I had tacos there too. Here in the US, it wasn't until about the 20th century when tacos started to pop up throughout the Southwest as the US experienced more immigration from Mexico and they were considered a working class food. Speaking of immigrants, Mexico experienced a high volume of Arabic immigrants after World War I due to the fall of the Ottoman Empire, who adapted taco making and integrated Arabic cooking methods, shawarma preparation, spices, meats. What's even more interesting is that this is where we get tacos al pastor, or shepherd-style tacos.
So tacos al pastor are actually very simple to make at home. Don't worry, you don't need the whole setup to hang your meat. And after looking online, I found a few different recipes that called for a ton of different things. But that's the thing is, nobody likes complicated. Here's actually what you really need. And if you don't eat pork, realistically, you can swap it out for the protein of your choice. But the thing is, if you use chicken, you've gone too far.
First you want to start off by slicing up your onion, and you just want to chop it once you get down these little slivers. Put it in a bowl and set it to the side. Smash your garlic and chop it up. We're going to take a can of pineapple and we're going to pop it open and go. Just slice down the middle. You want to get them into one little, I want to say half an inch, centimeter pieces. You don't have to be exact. Make sure you wind it off your countertop. It's just good practice. So you want to take your pork and slice it up into tiny little pieces, just about the same size as the pineapple. There you go.
So what we're going to do is we're going to mix in about half a cup of this pineapple juice with your chopped vegetables and some chilies. Now what we're going to be using are these Japanese tree chilies that are brought from the store today. You can find Japanese tree chilies really in any grocery store. They are pretty small, but they pack a huge punch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop these little guys up and put them into my pineapple juice, mix in with the other vegetables.
Canto a la raza, raza de bronce, raza carocha que el sol quemó.
You don't have to use your hands to mix it, but if you do, make sure you wash them afterwards.
A lo que lloran, a lo que esperan, le canto yo. Alma de carocha que nació morena, tarde que se mueve con vaivén de hamaca, tarde perfumada con beso de arena, tarde que semeja un paisaje de naca. Dime viven las quejas dolientes de toda una raza llena de amargura. Alma de garocha que nació valiente para sufrir toda desventura. Para sufrir toda desventura.
So we're back in the US. Taco stands are popping up all over the place.
As time passed, tacos quickly became a staple of Mexican cuisine, and for very good reasons. Tacos are diverse and can really be made of anything you want them to be. Street tacos are the best, and relatively cheap. Find a great taco place, and really try them all. However, my favorite tacos are tacos de asada, steak tacos. The recipe is very similar to al pastor, as far as cooking instructions go. I'm using skirt steak. It's a little pricey, but I love the texture. I'm no expert on cutting meat, but I'm just trying to get it as small as I can. Salt, pepper, cumin. A proper marinade usually calls for some acidity. I'm going to use a splash of orange juice and a whole lime. Once again, you don't have to mix it with your hand, but make sure you wash them afterwards.
Lo sé, pero es que a mí me encanta. Vas con la minifalda, se ve la parte de tus brazos.
Now I do have something to say about the carne asada. Carne asada means grilled steak. I know this is not technically grilled because it's prepared on the stovetop, but it works just fine. As the carne asada comes to a finish, it'll look something a lot like this. Basically, all the water has evaporated from the juices, and you're left with this delicious goodness.
I love tacos. I've had them all over the place. Denver, London, Mexico, San Diego, just to list a few. I want to say that the best tacos I've had so far are the ones from the mother country, Mexico. These days you can make tacos out of just about anything. We can't go on about tacos without completing the savory trinity. Let's make some chicken tacos. Not just any chicken tacos. Let's make tinga de pollo, or chicken stew tacos.
I'm going to make a marinade for the chicken as well. It's very similar to the ones that I made for the al pastor and the carne asadas, except this one's going to be a tomato based. So now instead of using fresh chilies, I'm going to use these canned chipotle chilies that I found at the grocery store. Now with the chipotle chilies, they are very spicy. All you really need is just one or two. I would be really careful when using chipotles because they can get very hot real quick.
For this recipe, I'm going to fillet the chicken. Be careful not to cut yourself. Pay attention to the knife. Instead of chopping the onion completely, I'm setting some pieces aside. I'm going to break the other half apart. For the marinade, I'm using a canned tomato paste. I'm adding a tiny bit of water to this, just enough to get it loosened up. Salt, pepper, cumin.
We're taking it outside to the grill. So what I'm going to do is just place our chicken on the grill. I have it set up right here. What you want to do is you just want to let it stick on there. You want to leave it alone for just a few minutes because if you touch it and you try to move it around, it will stick to your grill. And now, what I have are the slivers of onions that I cut earlier. So also what I have right here are the tomatoes. Let me get them out of the bag. One thing that you could also do is just you could just place your tomatoes on the grill as well. That way so they can get nice and toasty. So you just want to seal this up and just let it sit for a few minutes, probably 5 minutes. So now that we've let it sit for a few minutes, you want to just open it and you want to flip over your chicken. Now you don't have to cook your tomatoes on the grill, but it is a good idea just because it gets a little bit of that smoky flavor that you really, really want. So a lot of times when my mom used to cook tomatoes, she used to cook them on the stove, or she could even just boil them. It's not necessary to cook them on the grill, but like I said, it does give it a lot more flavor. And this is the part where I like to cheat. Always, always, always turn your gas off. Oops. So now I'm going to set my chicken aside, but for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my tomatoes in this blender along with the rest of the onion that I have, some garlic, a little bit of oil, salt, pepper, you guessed it, some cumin. You can add some cilantro leaves, or you could even do like I'm just doing right now. I'm just going to add some seeds, or aka coriander. A little bit of water, about a cup's worth. The good stuff, the chipotle peppers. This, I'm going to go ahead and just put one, and then I'm just going to grab some of the adobo sauce that comes in this can. The chipotle is very, very spicy. It's very delicious. It has that rich, smoky flavor, but I don't want to add too much to it. So now I'm just going to cap it, blend it, until it's all nicely integrated. Now that you got your sauce, you just want to put it in a big pot along with your chicken. So one thing about your chicken is that you do have to shred it. So basically you just want to make sure that your hands are clean, and then you just pull the little pieces apart, and then you just basically throw them in your pot. I like to keep some of the big charred onion pieces just because, like I said, it just adds flavor. Right, now that you have your chicken shredded, you're going to add it onto the tomato mix. So there you go. Tacos are just the best thing ever. You can literally just make them out of anything, and then, you know, with just a little bit of salsa, some lime, and there you go. And it's better than tacos and beer. Yum. Heaven.
Shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can call yourself any longer.